last second right before I was getting ready. All right, let's just start swinging the arms. My big headphones I usually wear, for some reason they wouldn't connect. I had them sitting on the charger and they were almost all the way charged, and then they wouldn't reset. It was like I just didn't have time to mess with it, so I had to go. The earbuds take me forever to put in though, so that's another challenge. Go to bed, baby. My dog prefers to be right beside me, but she keeps getting smacked in the nose when I'm swinging my arms. We're just nice and easy. Let's get nice and warmed up. Try to twist that core a little bit. Get a good stretch in. Nice and easy. Big exaggerated movements. But as always, nothing that hurts. It's always when you're in a hurry that things tend to snowball and go wrong. But I was draining my bag real quick, but when I went to I tucked the tube away in here, and when I went to pull that out, there's a little pee that got stuck in there from the last time I went to the bathroom, and it just flung all over my face. And I was just like, ugh. Sometimes this life gets to be a lot. But then, you shrug it off, you laugh it off. Sometimes you cry it off, but you just move on. All right, let's shake that out. Let's take our right arm, bring it across the front here. All right. And when I'm stretching, the only thing I can move in my wrist is this. It's called wrist extension. And when I'm stretching, I always do that just to see how it affects it. And sometimes it gives me more of a stretch to go into wrist extension, so I'll do that. Sometimes it doesn't seem to do anything. It's just always, it sounds kind of bad, but always play with your body, just always see what you can do, see what happens. All right, let's switch. All right, let's shake that out. And as much as you can, let's lean over. Let's try to stretch that lower back. Bring your chest down. Stretch down to your toes. Excuse me, I'm burping here. Squishing my guts like this. But then let's come up nice and slow. You always want to be sure not to get lightheaded, and if you do, just take your time. Make sure we get recovered. Let's stretch, reach up high. There comes some spasms for me. All right, let's start with some punches. Some of you might recognize this song. This was, according to the music app, this is Pat Green's most popular song. All right, let's shake that out. All right, your shoulders here, let's bring those down. And then let's do some nice, gentle neck rolls. Starting counterclockwise. Okay, and reverse. All right, shake that out. Let's get some punches going. Had my first experiment in a long time back at Fraser today. I'm back in research, so I'm excited about that. We're starting with some mapping right now. Which really, epidural stimulation is where they put a little thin electrical array on your spinal cord, and then they can control it with a box. And the real magic to epidural stimulation is the mapping. That's when a doctor like Dr. Susan Harkema, or a researcher, I guess, she's a PhD, but they sit there with all these sensors hooked up to you, and they adjust the stimulation, and they see how it affects you, and that's how they really fine tune it to get you the best results that you can. And that's something that I have to get redone every few months, at least every 6 months. And that's one thing that really concerns me about. I see these clinics overseas and stuff like that, epidural stimulation now, where you can buy this from, I think it's in Taiwan or where their hospital is. And I it's not that complicated of a surgery, and it's not that crazy of a device, but you have to get it programmed once it's inside of you. And like every time they do my mapping, they have all these MRI images of exactly where that thing is on my spinal cord and the nerves that it's touching. And they're looking at that while they see the effects. And, it's not just a plug and play sort of a thing. It takes some maintenance and some tuning. And I just, I'm kind of curious what the future of this looks like, because surely there's got to be some way that they're going to do this stuff remotely. Because not everybody can come see Dr. Harkema, or whatever it is. All right, let's shake that out. Let's get these arms up. Let's twist that core. So I put this song in the playlist. I had this really cool neighbor growing up, and he would always play this song. But when I was reading about country and rock and crossovers, this was kind of a rock country crossover from back in the day. So I've always really loved this song, and I thought it was cool to incorporate it. The house I grew up in from when I was probably 7 to 12 years old. The guy that lived next door, he was a rich college kid, and his parents bought him the house next door to the house where I grew up. And so it was just him there by himself. And he was a professional jet ski racer, and he would teach me how to work on his jet skis. And we built a speaker box for his truck, and he would take me to the lake and let me ride his professional jet ski and stuff. And he was just a really cool guy that I was really lucky that I got to grow up next to him. And this song always reminds me of him. All right, let's shake that out. Reaching down to the right. And we're just gonna focus on one side for a little bit. kind of crazy how I'm sure I've reached out to him, and told him what an impact he made on me, and he doesn't even remember it being that big of a deal. He's like, man, you hung out in my garage a couple times, and I took you out to the lake once or twice. I was like, dude, it's like the coolest thing ever for me. All right, let's switch to the left. Ooh, and I am struggling on the left. This is another Pat Green song. There we go, that's getting easier for me. All right, now let's go right to left. Ooh, and of course, massive spasm for me. All right, back to some punches. Okay. All right. All right. Carry on. All right, let's keep pushing it. All right, stretching those arms up, flapping our wings. Have some tacos and beer. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's work that core front to back. So I'm adjusting my chair a little bit here. I'm gonna get my back up off of the backrest, coming down. And then, gotta work through those initial spasms. That is one thing about being back in research, doing all this stimulation. It does excite my nervous system, I would say. But let's keep, this is really more of a trunk extension, working that back trunk extension, trying to make sure I don't lose my headphones here. And if you need to use your arms, that's great. If this is whatever this looks like for you, just as long as you're doing what you can to challenge yourself. We started the mapping today, and they got me doing the 24-hour blood pressure study, and I was supposed to refrain from all physical exercise. And I was like, well, there's two things. There's like one, I have a workout group that I meet with on Tuesdays that I really don't want to miss. And then three, it's like I'm trying to work out at least 10 minutes every day. Is that okay? And they're always, sometimes I got to be careful about the questions I ask because I feel like they just say yes, but I want to make sure that it's best for everyone. All right, keep working that trunk. Ooh. All right. Even though I was working my trunk, I still like to shake my arms out. And let's get a drink of water. All right, we're just going to start swinging those arms. If you notice, I'm not bent that much at the elbow. This is just a nice swing. We're gonna grade this up as we go. So, but we're gonna start out like this. Keep it nice and gentle. Make sure I'm not adjusting my chair with my blood pressure cuff hose. All right. Let's see here, when that bass line kicks in, let's kick it up a notch. All right, let's bend those elbows a little bit and pick up the pace. Oh. Let's go to some punches. All right, back to some back and forth with the trunk. Working that chest down to your knees and getting back upright. All right, let's work that left arm, working down to the right, then up to the left. Switch. All right, let's try some compound movements here. Touching our toes and reaching for the sky. All right, let's work that right side, leaning down to the right. This song is another Pat Green song, but it's called Southbound 35. and I-35 runs right through where I live in Kansas. And, you know, he's kind of saying he's got to get the heck out of these northerners and get back to Texas. It's not like he loves where I'm at, but I always liked it because it talked about one of those highways. It's the two main things people know Kansas for is I-70 and I-35. Switch to the left. All right, let's work that chest down to your knees and back up. We're doing a trunk extension. All right, now let's go left, front, right, left, front, right. All right, punching. All right, let's back those chicken wings. All right, now let's get them up and let's twist. Keep pushing it. All right, shake that out. Let's get some water. All right, make sure you're in a good position. Let's lean down, touch those toes. My back's getting tight, so we're gonna stretch the back out just a little bit. All right, let's come back up. And then let's just start lightly punching. All right, pick up the punching a little bit. Try to keep up with the beat. All right, wheelchair W here and then pressing up. All right, shake that out. Back to working that core. Sitting up as tall as you can, and then bringing that chest all the way down on your knees. All right, alternating, punching up. All right, punching. All right, shake that out and get a drink of water. All right, down to the right and down to the left. Working it back and forth. Keep that sway going, and then let's transfer it to punching up. It's like a punch and a reach. Let's go back to some punches. All right, working that across the body, left arm down to the right and up to the left. 4 toasts to a little bit of chicken fried. Switch. All right, shake that out. Back with some straight punches. Let's work that core. Down, back. Add a reach. Forward and reaching. And you know, if you can do this with better posture or faster, or you can do it with weights in your arms, that's great. If you have to, do a little less and it's challenging for you, then that's great. You're just trying to figure out what's challenging for us, and we're trying to just push it just a little bit. Leaning to the right, leaning to the left, to the right, to the left. Whatever pace is good for you. Everybody says the Allman Brothers flirt the line with country and rock, and I love the Allman Brothers, so I threw them in. All right, working your chest forward and back. These back extensors do so much for us. All right, really trying to finish with good posture. They always tell you to lead with your head in physical therapy, or at least that's what they tell me. Lead with your head, kind of snake it up. So head, shoulders, and everything follows. But do whatever works for you, whatever your team has told you, whatever jogs your memory to do what you've been taught. And, don't be afraid to try different things, Don't do anything dangerous. Don't do anything that would hurt you. But let's try different things. I think a lot of the time I get so used to being paralyzed and functioning how I function that if I don't make a point to try new things and see what I can do, I will never know what my capabilities are. Because sometimes these things get unlocked and you don't get an email that says, hey, this new nerve is kind of starting to regrow and you got a muscle twitch, and you just have to try and you have to be aware of where your body is. So it's just important to, when we do things like this, try to feel, try things new. Let's go back to some punches. And I'm really guilty of this. I'm a creature of habit. I figure out a way to do something and then I do it that way till I die. So it's an exercise. You have to work at trying to be plastic and not being set in your ways. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but throughout my life, I've always really admired when you see, really old people, like great grandparents age, talking about people in their 90s and stuff, but when they still know what's current and they know how to use, an iPad or a computer, and they just haven't given up on continuing to learn and to continuing to evolve as a person. And I really admire those people. I think those are some of the coolest people. If you don't let yourself learn and adapt like that, then it's like you always live in 1970. You don't really ever get to experience the different times that you're living in if you don't stay current. And not that you need to be wrapped in social media, but just aware of the new technology and how to use it and how it's affecting the world, and not just shutting yourself off from new things. All right, let's shake that out, and let's touch our toes and reach for the sky. Shake that out and let's get a drink of water. All right, let's get our back off of our backrest, and let's just try to work in a little circle here, working that core. I thought this was kind of interesting. It was Nelly with Florida Georgia Line. This was a country rock crossover, they were saying. Working that core. And then let's switch the direction. So I was doing counterclockwise, now I'm going clockwise. All right, let's get those elbows up. Twist. We just got this in one more song. We're almost through it, and then we get a break for the holidays. All right, now let's keep twisting that core, but let's change it to a punch. Ooh, yeah. Every time I do something different, my body's got to spaz out to let me know. All right, it's reaching down to the right. Switch to the left. All right, more punches. All right, here comes our last song. And this song is called Me and Billy the Kid by Pat Green. And Pat Garrity is the one that shot Billy the Kid back in the day. So I think that's why Pat Green always plays the part of Pat in this song. But I like, you know, songs that tell a little bit of a story, and this is one of those. So let's keep pushing it and listen to the lyrics here as we finish up our workout for the year. Swing those arms like we're walking. Reaching down to the right, then down to the left. Punching. All right, left arm raises. Switch. Down to the right, down to the left. Punches. Down to the right and up to the left. All right. Thank you guys very much. It's been a fun year. Hope I see y'all next year. And that's Belle's automatic dog feeder going off. Thank you, Lacey. I appreciate all your help. See you guys.